This is Grow Omaha Uncut, where you can watch our radio show, including what goes on in the commercial breaks. And be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons.
Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals at your service, broadcasting live from the KFAB Penthouse Studio in beautiful downtown Dundee. Glad you're with us. You will not find another show in the metro area that talks about the things that we discuss, and that is business expansion, real estate growth, construction, just fun things related to Omaha becoming bigger, more prosperous, and more vibrant. Thank you to our sponsors, Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. And now, without any further ado, it's time to bring on my co-host, a man who is a legendary real estate deal maker and all-around broker, Trenton Magid.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jeff.
Well, good morning, Trenton. It's an exciting day. We're going to take calls in our call-in show. We're going to be taking calls from listeners here in a little bit. So we're going to bring on our good friend and frequent contributor, Brad Williams. Good morning, Brad.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good to have you back, Brad. It's been a while. It's been a few weeks since we've had you on the show.
Yeah, I was on a couple times in January and then took a couple weeks off.
And you were traveling quite a bit last week.
Well, I went to my annual 16th annual Sandhill Crane photography trip, which is always a lot of fun out in Kearney. And then I went and saw the Omaha Mavericks play up in Sioux Falls on Thursday night.
Tough weekend for Mavericks and for Creighton Blue Jays, but congratulations to both those teams. They went far, but unfortunately they didn't go all the way. And we love our Creighton Blue Jays and UNO Mavericks. And can people see those Sandhill Crane pictures yet on your BradWilliamsPhotography.com?
Not yet. Just
working on it.
There's plenty of other nice stuff on BradWilliamsPhotography.com.
There's previous year's photos on there, but nothing from this year yet.
Brad is one of the most respected photographers here in the Omaha area. The name of the company is Brad Williams Photography, and he's also a member of the E&A Consulting family. That's a civil engineering firm that does a lot of the big development projects all over the metro area. Well, we have a restaurant review this week. Every other week, Sarah Baker Hansen, the premier food critic in Omaha, reviews a restaurant for us. It's part of our Grow Omaha Eats restaurant review series. And this week, Sarah reviews Trax. And Trax is the place that it used to be known as Trackside, but it's on 60th Street. And they're famous for their fried chicken, broasted chicken technically. They also have very good wings. And you'll have to read the review if you're a big fan of fried chicken or of wings. I am. And Sarah is in the middle of her wings bracket this year, kind of playing off the March Madness theme. She's been going to all sorts of wing restaurants and having a contest. And so in that spirit, she reviewed Trax. Guys, I can give you a personal story. A few months ago, the family, we went there on a Sunday at around noon and had fried chicken and wings. And I'm sure we consumed a fair number of calories, but my goodness, it was a great lunch.
I like how she's not a food snob. Like Sarah Baker Hansen, she's reviewed, very fancy restaurants and everyday restaurants. It's kind of a refreshing when it comes to reading food critics.
That's a good point, because a lot of food critics will be like, ew, I'm not going to some place that's got fried chicken. But Sarah's never been that person. She appreciates all genres of food for what they're worth.
Yeah, and Trax is one of those cool, old school East Omaha looking places, and I'm sure some food critics would show up and look at the outside and turn around.
Yeah. Like,
but it's a great place. They have great wings. I like it.
Well, you can read about it by going to growomaha.com and clicking on Eats, E-A-T-S, on the navigation bar. And not only can you read that review, but you can read every single one of Sarah's reviews that she's written for us over the past couple of years. Well, let's go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage. Eagle Mortgage has been in the business for well north of 30 years. It doesn't matter whether you're going to go conventional loan or if you want to do the FHA, VA loan thing. They even have a couple specialty loans that they do, but they do a great job of it. They sit down with you, learn your situation, and because they're not a bank, they're not beholden to one lender. They're a mortgage broker, right? And so they'll shop the market, figure out which one's best for you, and do their best to get you in a place where you are ready to go choose a house and to finance the house. It is the biggest purchase that most people make. And so you want to have a company like Eagle Mortgage in your corner, in your back pocket, on your side, helping you when you go house hunting. And you can find them in person at 114th and Davenport or online at eaglemortgagecompany.com.
And they're just good people.
And they are good people. Thanks for mentioning that. Well, let's go into our news, Trenton and Brad. And the first item I have for you is some good news. The library, the Central Library, which is under construction on the southwest corner of 72nd and Dodge, and has already reached 4 stories with the steel framing, has surpassed its fundraising goal. So this is the Omaha Public Library, City of Omaha, Heritage, a few other organizations involved in this. But at any rate, it has passed its fundraising goal of $158 million. That means that Omaha's new public library is one of the largest philanthropic commitments to a public library system in recent history nationwide. It'll be 96,000 square feet when it's done. And we want to just kind of give you an idea about how widespread the support is. That $158 million came from 282 entities, foundations, corporations, or individuals. The city of Omaha was one of them and put in $20 million. So it's coming along great. It's going to be an architectural landmark. Drove by it just this morning, coming to the studio, and it's awfully big.
Yeah, that's what I was going to notice. I noticed this morning, too, on the way here, was it appears much larger in person than the renderings did.
I would agree with that.
No, I absolutely. And part of it, I think, is a 50-foot warehouse where they can pull any book or periodical within like 2 minutes. It's like some kind of like an Amazon technology or something like that, which will be kind of cool. But I think it's a huge undertaking, and it'll be beautiful for Omaha. But I wonder if part of that, Jeff, is because you don't see a lot of libraries going up in this country.
Fair point in that people are not reading as many books as they used to. But I think there are a lot of libraries that are being developed because
it's a new library. It's a different type.
Yeah, people see them as community centers now. It's a place where people can have access to technology that they might not be able to afford to have in their house, especially when it comes to some of the more advanced things. They oftentimes have, the nice coffee shop in them. They're really becoming community centers.
And due space, which is the library is replaced on that spot. There'll probably be some remnants of their services. So as long as it gets used, and obviously it'll be fun to look at, but it's in the right location to be used. You can get there by any mode of transportation, I'm sure, and let's see how it goes.
My guess is it'll be heavily used. I'm thinking it'll be one of those places that kind of becomes a living room for the city. I'll tell you what, the backyard or the outdoor living room, if you will, for the city are those 3 riverfront parks. I had reason to be downtown yesterday for a meeting, and I tried to, with the weather's nice, I always try to build in another hour if I have anything downtown because I like to take a walk. And, partly to see all the Omaha projects. And this is kind of one of the more interesting places to walk. So yesterday was that day for me. Yesterday afternoon, but it was a later lunch. And by the time I got to walking, it was well into the mid-afternoon. Holy cow, it was busy down there. I mean, if the library and the CHI Center and some places like that are our living rooms, those parks are basically our backyard.
And it's politics aside, it's kind of like a Disney World where there's people, the guests are taking care of it, the citizens are taking care of it, but also they have cleaning crews and there's people sweeping up cigarette butts and things like that.
Well, speaking of politics, Mayor Jean Stothert announced this week that she will be running for an unprecedented 4th term. She was first elected in 2013, reelected in 17 and 21. And that announcement came this week, and she gave about a 15 to 20 minute campaign announcement speech in which she kind of highlighted a lot of the successes of her term. Given where Omaha is right now with growth and development, a lot of the things she mentioned were things we talk about on this show. And so we'll see who the challenges are and how the campaign goes. It's over a year away. The primary will be about a year from now. And the general election, if I remember the city elections correctly, will be June a year from now. So we have to get through God help us, the presidential election. And then after that, we can start focusing on the city mayoral election. I think Jean's going to be awfully tough to beat given the track record.
Yeah, and she's been a great guest on this show and a great mayor. She's a friend. But what I really like about her style and her personality is she wants to be mayor. She wants to continue to be mayor. She's not going for higher office, and it fits her personality. And there's so many major projects that are, the streetcar and the tower downtown and more things to come. I don't have any complaints.
Yeah, I try not to. We try very hard not to be political on the show, and we don't officially endorse anyone. But I'll tell you, she's done a hell of a job. And
Really
and like I said, I think anyone who wants to take the job from her, I'm sure there will be a handful. They're going to have to make a compelling argument because she's got quite a good track record. Well, let's go on to the other story I wanted to share with everyone this morning, and that is some recognition. Like if you listen to the mayor's speech, she talked about all of these projects and all these amazing things going on, and I have been thinking lately for the last year that Omaha's kind of coming into a golden era. In fact, I talked to a group of Rotarians over lunch earlier this week and kind of was sharing some stuff about Grow Omaha, and I told them that exact same thing. I said, we're kind of coming into a golden era, and with all the projects and the big steps we're taking, and I think you're going to see some accelerated growth as a result of it. And we're starting to see some signs. And we mentioned two things in this week's Grow Omaha newsletter that comes out every Thursday afternoon. The first one is a national trade publication called Multi-Housing News, ranked Omaha number 1 on its list of top 10 emerging multifamily markets for 2024, mentioned that the Omaha market completed over 4,500 new apartment units last year, and that 8,000 apartment units are currently under construction. Nevertheless, the apartment market in Omaha still has a 96% occupancy rate. But before you comment on that, guys, let me also mention this. Another sign. CoStar, which is a real estate analytics firm, has reported that the vacancy in the retail real estate market is the lowest in recorded history at only 3.8% for the metro area. Year-over-year rent growth, 7.9%, the second highest level on record. Among the 61 top retail markets in the United States, Omaha has the 15th lowest retail vacancy rate and fourth highest rental growth rate. By the way, there are 65 million square feet of retail space in the Omaha area. When I see those two articles, incredibly healthy apartment development market and an incredibly healthy retail market, it tells me some good stuff is happening here in the marketplace.
I think we're very fortunate in Omaha, and we're a diverse economy. We're on the national stage. We get a lot of recognition, and the city council, the mayor's office, everybody kind of works together. There's a ton of disposable income in Omaha, and also didn't we read that the population growth has stepped up a little bit too?
Yeah. That's a good point, Trenton. We actually had a surprisingly slow population growth for that year, toward the 2 years toward the end of the pandemic, and that has really picked up. It went up to 0.78% from summer of 22 to summer of 23. Metro areas in the United States as a whole, on average, only grew about 0.53%. So it's going well. I suspect that number from 23 to 24 will be quite a bit higher than that.
It's the apartment number is good to see that the that the rental rate is up that high, because there are, like mentioned, a lot of apartments coming online. But also the retail number is interesting, that it seems like we've for a while had a lot of big boxes that were coming empty, but I've seen a lot of those big boxes maybe not be a traditional retailer move in there, but some of them are moving to like a sports and athletics. Some of them are turning into entertainment venues. So there's just a lot of kind of creative reuses of some of these retail buildings out there.
One of our old friends, Phyllis Choate, I ran into her at an event down at the Durham, and our old Spanish teacher, Norm Choate, and her friend Eric that worked for us, or with us, she's on the Douglas County Historical Society, and they do a garage sale, a fundraiser that takes care of a lot of the Omaha landmarks and stuff like that. And she's looking for 20 to 30,000 square feet for a couple weeks in the next couple of months to raise money and to take care of the structures and different things, if anybody knows about that. But I had to let her know when she reached out to me after I saw her was, I can't think of big boxes, in 20 to 50,000 feet or more that are available. Can you guys think of any space?
We have, Trenton, we have the same problem. We have a couple brokers in our office at NAI NP Dodge who are representing a national hardware home improvement chain that wants to come into the Omaha market. They use more like junior anchor space. They're not huge like Home Depot or Menards. They want more junior anchor space, and it's very, very difficult to find spaces for them. So it's a tight market. Well, that is your news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. Going to take our first break of the hour, and when we come back, the phones are open. Every couple months we do this. It's our call-in show. All you have to do is dial 402-558-1110, 402-558-1110. If you want to know what's happening at whatever street and such street, give us a call. We'll take a stab at it. If you've wondered something, if you want to make a comment about something related to Omaha growth and development, call us. Now, if you want to talk politics, like if you're that cigarette guy that used to call KFAB all the time and complain about stuff, don't call. All right, if you want to call like why you hate either Biden or Trump, we don't want to hear about it. But if you want to talk about what's happening in Omaha, call us at 402-558-1110. You're listening to Jeff Beals, Trenton Magid, and Brad Williams on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Join us.
That was so smooth.
I gave D&M a little bit of a shout out.
Sure. In Hollywood.
What was that guy, Mark Wells?
Mark Wells.
Couldn't stand that guy. Headphones?
They're right here.
Are they working?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Hey, how do we get enough headphones so easily?
They were all in here when we
It's like a miracle.
Artists and the fans who get them there.
Mark's Miracle.
Make the music truly come alive through their energy and positive vibes. To the fans that make live music possible, we salute you.
Tired of walking into a dull and uninspiring
I just was looking at notifications on my phone, and apparently my camera bag is in the car, which means I did have gaffer's tape here.
Your gaffer's tape. Can you have some gaffer's tape?
And how do you know yours is the microphone?
I have an air tag in the camera bag, hidden in the bottom. Okay. So if I walk away from it and it's not at home,
Want it down here.
send me a text.
Hitting the lips at all? Because it's
Yeah, and
We've got you
if you touch this microphone, you get a incurable lip fungus that you don't want.
Visit Menards Garden Center for everything you need to
I
get
think his
your
microphone was here when Lyle Brimser was broadcasting over the studio. Probably have some of his original lip fungus on it.
Replace the springs or something?
Get the job done.
I cannot get it to
from
be
hundreds of beautiful, colorful flowers, lush trees and shrubs, and
his
everything in
suspension's
between.
broken.
Menards Garden Center is back in bloom.
Watch what
Stop
happens
in
on
and
that
get your garden on today.
What do you push it back?
Get your first name?
Knuckle right
Choose to get
right
into an
straight
accident,
past
you have
me
a
there.
choice of
Push that
order
back a
vehicle
little.
repair. When you choose Dingman's Collision Center,
I'm a little bit gun shy.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit gun shy.
First of all,
What happened a couple months ago?
that thing's afraid of you in the first place.
I'm Darcy Dingman, and at Dingman, our family cares about your
You
vehicle.
got a question for Bill?
Accidents are hard, but choosing a repair shop is easy.
WD-40.
Visit Dingmans.com.
I need the WD-40 for, I got the screen door chair.
Collision repair.
Oh, yeah,
Dingman would rather be the best than apologize for
I just
This works. Okay, this is not bad.
We have Cox Home Life. When you open the front door, it makes this artificial creaky
My
sound.
eyes connect me with everything
on the speaker, it's like.
I love my late father-in-law.
So we've programmed fun things for the kids in the doorbell. And Barrett put the Home Alone.
Age-related macular
Get your
degeneration.
yellow no good keister off my property, and then the gun shoot, the Tommy gun
I've
shoots.
learned there's an advanced
So when you walk in the door, I hit that button.
AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made
It's a
him
happy
want to
boy,
help
isn't it?
others know about GA's
How old is he?
warning signs. For some, colors appear dull
What
or
are we looking
washed
at?
out.
Well,
For others,
Barrett.
hazy or blurred
He's 7 in
vision
April.
make it hard to see details,
Going
like
quick,
fine
happy
print
days.
on
Yeah.
price tags.
He's a handsome
Many
boy.
have
He likes
trouble
hockey. He's a
seeing in
hockey-
the dark,
he loves hockey.
making driving at night
He's got a lot of
difficult.
charisma.
GA gets
Loves
worse
it.
over time
Gosh, I
and
think he was
cannot be
just
reversed.
born when
If you
we
think
started
you
working
have
with
GA,
Gene.
don't
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
Treatments
it would've
are
been.
available.
Yeah.
Ask a retina specialist about
She was.
FDA-approved treatments for
That's
GA
good. It
goes fast.
and go to
Yeah.
GAWon'tWait.com.
Yeah.
Hello, Grow Omaha fans. This
It
is
goes
Krista
fast.
Gilson, gym director for Cheer Athletics Omaha. Do you have an athlete at home that wants to start or improve their tumbling skills? What about taking stunt skills to the next level? We have
Yeah, we don't need to hear it too loud. Yeah.
You
Cheers.
develop
Thank you.
those skills.
All I need to hear is when I hear that. When we're coming back, that's all I need to hear.
Teams that
We
compete with the
talked
best
about
teams in the country.
sports
Go to
complex
caomaha.com and come join the
they're trying to get a
All-Star
free.
Cheer
Everybody's trying to
Company.
get free
Cheer
buildings.
Athletics, where champions are made.
We'll
I think I've got it stabilized. See, that's what I was talking about. Don't touch it. And welcome back.
Oh.
If it was anyone other than the legendary Gary Settlemeyer, I would have been irritated that he interrupted me, but it's Gary. I'm Jeff Beals, and I'm sitting next to my good friends Trenton Maggot and Brad Williams. Brad is with Brad Williams Photography and E&A Consulting, and we are doing our call-in show today. We'll get to a couple calls here in just a moment. But first, we are brought to you by Cheer Athletics and Dingman's Collision Center. You can learn more about Cheer Athletics by going to caomaha.com. CA as in Cheer Athletics, but that's the nation's finest and most respected all-star cheer gym. Great involvement opportunity for your kids, your grandkids, your nieces and nephews. The Omaha location located just southwest of Highways 50 and 370. So we're going to start with Howland, who has a question about Anthony's. Go ahead, Howland. You are on the air.
Yes, I see that Anthony's is having quite a bit of work done to it, the old Anthony's. Was wondering if you could tell us what's going in there.
I think it's a plumbers union, isn't it?
Yeah, it was one of the unions. I don't remember which one exactly.
Yeah, so basically a while back, one of the unions bought it, and then apparently they're dramatically changing it into something that would suit their their work and the way they serve their members, but not a restaurant. No more restaurant or food service there unless it's for the union that they might have for functions inside.
We can't. My wife and I cannot go back there anymore and relive our wedding night.
You guys got married at Anthony's?
No, that's the reception was there.
Oh.
The big party room.
I'm pretty sure they don't need the grease traps or the hood in the kitchen. It'll be interesting to see what they do, if they do much cosmetic on the outside.
Okay, well, we appreciate you calling, Howland. And now we're going to go to Jay. Jay, you are next on Grow Omaha. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I've enjoyed your show for many years.
Thank you.
I got two questions. It's about the same issue. Two libraries, the one downtown that's been uprooted for the new business. But why wasn't Mutual Omaha held accountable for paying for that land? I mean, that was public land. You know, I don't understand why we're not held accountable for paying for that land, or that went to a vote, or paying for the replacement of that library. And then I hear the same thing is getting ready to happen, or backdoor deals are trying to be made with the 90th and Dodge Street Library with the mayor. From a public point of view, a private citizen, to me that looks like that land downtown was stolen from us, from Mutual Omaha, who paid nothing for it. Maybe you can enlighten me. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing. That's my two questions, gentlemen.
I'll take the downtown library question. And they did a land swap. So Lanahaw owned the Union Pacific lot, and the city owned the library lot, and they basically switched ownership. They sold, what do they do? Sell them for $1 a piece or
Yeah.
something. But so they basically swapped it. So Omaha still has an entire city block downtown that they can do something with. And when the mayor,
14th and Dodge.
and when the mayor was on 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, she said that they're going to temporarily use that for a construction laydown for the streetcar. As far as the 90th and Dodge, I've not heard anything. Have you guys?
Well, a couple times on this show in the last couple months, I've mentioned that would be a great redevelopment where the city sold that to a developer or land leased it or whatever to make a modern version of Swanson Tower on 84th Street. And I just question whether that was redundancy or not to have both those libraries within a couple miles of each other. But when it comes to city government and private business, I understand where you could say that there's deals being made or whatever, but if you look at, and I've been on the planning board, and we've been involved with clients that want to do some of these projects, and in order to advance the city, if you look downtown where there's incentives, tax increment financing, and there's all kind, historic tax credits. There's some sweetheart deals or the perception of sweetheart deals, but if it advances the city for the good of everyone, it's not all bad, in my opinion.
I'm not saying that Jay is thinking this way, but I think it's really easy for people, especially if a big corporation and a real estate developer is involved. It's very easy for people to just assume that something nefarious is happening or someone is getting some ill-deserved gain that's done in a back smoke-filled room or something like that. My perception is that the Mutual of Omaha deal has been very much open and in the light of day. Mutual of Omaha and its developer, Lanahaw, cut a deal to work with each other. They cut a deal with the city to swap the land because they preferred the library site. The city had long wanted to repurpose that library site because the building was horribly obsolete and uglier than a prison. And so we ended up with a win-win-win situation. Downtown area gets a new library by the old market that is beautiful and very user-friendly and more appropriate for the level of use that the downtown library gets.
And that one's leased, and they at 1401 Jones, after 5 or 10 years, they can get out.
Yeah, and then the city gets a brand new flagship library right at the crossroads that is going to be one of the finest libraries in the United States of America. We get a Fortune 500 company that makes a commitment to Omaha and brings 4,000 jobs to the downtown core, and it acts as a catalyst for us to justify a streetcar system, which is going to create billions of dollars in collateral real estate development. So I think I hear this all the time from people on the Grow Omaha Facebook page, or they call us and they say, oh, this stuff is going on. I'm like, yeah, what's going on is we're making the city better and people are doing a good job doing it.
And Jay, don't forget that when people talk about Omaha and the stakeholders and the community activists, so much of this money, I think only $50 million out of $450 million for the downtown improvements to the park and everything, were citizens. There was these foundations and these families that sat around a table and they each gave $50 million, like at least 3 or 4 of them. So when it comes to civic involvement and stuff, we're unparalleled when it comes to people contributing, not just the government.
Jay, we appreciate the call. We're going to take our middle of the show break for the news, but when we come back, we have Donna, Ryan, and Bob on the line. So if you are Donna, if you are Ryan, or if you are Bob, please don't go anywhere. We're going to get to you. But if anyone else wants to call, go for it. 402-558-1110. We'd love to hear from all of you with your questions. You're listening to Grow Omaha. We have Jeff Beals, Trenton Magid, and Brad Williams in the house. We're brought to you by Cheer Athletics and Dingman's Collision Center. Back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
I'm not sure we satisfied with those answers, but it's interesting how we get this shit all the time. But if he's thinking like that, other people think like that, and I think that it's fair for him to ask the questions. He may not be incredibly informed, and we might be a little bit biased as far as spending, public money and that kind of stuff. But you got to look at it as a whole, and if you pick out these things, well. I think about all these public parking garages. Isn't the city going to own Todd Heastand's parking garage when they tear it down?
And the city's making money. The city's making profit on parking garages now.
But I could totally see in 10 years, though,
Need to hire?
that the city is going to be stuck with all these parking garages and these autonomous cars
Just sell them to developers for repurpose.
and tear them down. I mean, we're not going to need that many parking spots.
Yeah, I think when that day comes, because I thought about that too.
It's not that far off. 20 years on the outside, maybe?
Yeah, maybe 10. Yeah, you look at the Mutual Omaha Tower with all the. There's got to be some way you can repurpose it, and then like if you look at
parking garages are flat,
and then if you look at the buildings that are just parking garages, those will be sold to developers, torn down and replaced with condos and apartments and things like that.
And you have a lot of land at places like Oakview and different places.
Yeah, in fact, and it's funny you should say that because you know how we've been fretting for years and years about how the city of Omaha is running out of land to develop and all that sort of thing. When we have autonomous cars, you'll just develop all those parking lots.
Right.
So you'll have almost unlimited land for redevelopment when we have autonomous.
But it's funny, we're going vertical with all these parking garages when we probably won't need them in 20 years.
Yeah,
and even 10.
Yeah, but
some of them.
if you're building a new building, 20 years is a long time to
wait.
Yeah, you need that parking day one.
Yeah. They'll find some other way to use them. Like, my guess is, like in a building like Mutual Omaha, you won't be able to get rid of the parking garage because it's fused into the building. Yeah, find some way to turn it into storage.
If it really fused, I mean,
yeah, you could. I don't think you could tear down. You couldn't tear out the parking without tearing down the building because it's going to be on top of the parking garage.
Yeah.
Well, I think that leads to the point where most parking garages aren't flat. Like you drive in a parking garage,
ramps.
So what? You can't put any users in there.
No, you can store things
on an angle.
Server farm.
A lot of like a lot of merchandise, a lot of just freight product. You can warehouse at an angle. Doesn't matter.
Maybe you should make it more like the parking garages at the airport when they're flat.
Yeah. Well, that I like those kind of parking garages the best because the exit entrance, like in the new airport parking garage, that's the way to do it because you can fill it and empty it so much faster. Like parking garages by entertainment sports venues, if we could afford it, it would be nice to always have them like that because they empty so much faster.
Really sipping on whiskey last night. I hung out with Nick Dizona.
Yeah.
And we watched the game and we just...
Where'd you guys go?
Just my house.
Oh,
big screen.
What kind of whiskey?
It was good. It was the bottle that...
most of America that they were clinging to guns and religion. You got the Clintons who said that they were all deplorables. And then you got, Joe Biden.
Michael Van gave it to me when he gave us that toy that we had so much fun with. And my 50th birthday party.
Oh, cool.
It was wrapped around a really expensive bottle of whiskey.
Wow, very cool.
It's great.
What's Nick up to these days? Still doing appraisals?
Radio 11
Nick? Oh, yeah. In a big way.
Partly sunny today with a high of 57, a low of 41. Tonight, a 20% chance of rain after 2 a.m. Sunday, a 30% chance of rain.
Took a bunch of aspirin last night. Drink water.
You have a lot of whiskey.
Sunday night, chance of thunderstorms overnight.
Yeah, I'm a little tired, but I'm not.
If you needed aspirin,
I'm not hungover. No, I took it before.
Oh, okay.
Tired of
I was
walking
thinking,
into a dull and
you guys did, like,
uninspiring
if you have
workspace?
too much drink, you
Want to
take it
inject
at
some
night?
life into your environment?
No, I just flush a lot of water. Before I go to bed, I have like a big thing of water. It usually does the trick.
Murals
Yeah.
and window film to recognition and
Water,
history walls and more. We have the expertise to
Hydrate.
transform your space. So,
I don't know. I'm just paranoid about taking
Sometimes I'll
aspirin
landfill the next morning.
Really?
we've got
I have
you
this
covered.
feeling it's going to ruin my kidneys or something. Not that all the other crap I eat that won't,
Kidney explosion.
I said the C word.
Uh-oh.
We're going to get bad.
What C word did you say?
I said crap.
Oh, I was gonna say kidneys is with a K.
I got a little nervous when you said C word.
Chris, cut it.
There's probably only about
Chris is the C word.
2 or 3 words we absolutely can't use on Uncut. That would be
Well,
one.
apparently I used it last time I was on.
You did?
Remember?
We got blasted.
Did we get a complaint?
I think you're talking about me because I say hell and damn sometimes.
We get when we say freaking. I've been called a freaking.
Yeah, there was a guy. All of the multiple complaint emails that come in to Groma through the website. One guy was complaining. I think it was probably because I sometimes say a hell of a job or damn it or something. Apparently that's obscenities, because one guy complained that we used obscenities on the air and that we need to be careful because teenagers are listening.
Yeah, that was recent.
And I'm like, has this guy been around teenagers to hear how they say a lot worse than damn and hell.
All right, Mr. Flanders.
Obscenities.
Apparently, Barrett just now realized I'm not home. And he's not happy about it.
But he turned on the radio so he could hear you?
Well, Dana's listening to it because she was texting me about things earlier.
Why were you going to take him to breakfast or go somewhere? Or make him pancakes or something?
Sure, he's downstairs watching hockey.
Oh. That's your boy. He loves that hockey. It reminds me of my son with baseball.
Survive that.
I'd go downstairs really early on a Saturday or Sunday morning and have the MLB channel on.
Is he going to play this spring?
He's going to play and coach this summer.
Where's he playing?
Nebraska Platinum, the same organization he's coaching for. So he's going to play part time on the 18U travel team, and then he's the coach for the 13U team. He'll be busy.
Listen to News Radio.
Oh, he's got a job.
1110 KFAB anywhere.
No lawns.
And lawns.
Radio app. All your music radio.
Keeps him off the street.
And we're back, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. Dingman's has 4 metro area locations, and every single one of them does a great job. They have them at Papillion, 120th and Maple, 144th and L, and on Saddle Creek in the Midtown area. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for your Noddle Companies Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight. Noddle Companies is famous for building places. You know, they also build individual buildings, and recently have done some really cool headquarters buildings like HDR and Valmont and many others. But they're also known as placemakers. Exarban Village is a place, great place. They did that. Builders District downtown. Well, Noddle Companies also did River's Edge. That is the development right by the Tom Hannafin Park in Council Bluffs on the Iowa side of the Bob Carey Missouri River pedestrian bridge. And we have a couple of reports about things that are going on in that River's Edge development. The first one is on the east side, there are 3 residential buildings under construction now. They all have their foundations in place, and we should start seeing those 3 buildings go vertical. From what I can tell, they will come close to completing River's Edge. There is still room for one substantial building right by the parking garage on the west end, and then room for maybe some sort of mid or high-rise apartment or condo project someday on the north side, but that project's coming along. The other thing, in that same general area as part of today's report, the treetop walk at Hannafin Park appears to have started. There's been some heavy construction equipment in the trees and the low-lying land just north of the Missouri River pedestrian bridge. And that's all part of this treetop walk project that will include a 50-foot climbing wall, a 138-foot observatory tower, and an elevated walkway through the trees. It's going to be really, really cool. And the very preliminary work is now underway on that project.
Isn't part of that the Mid-American Energy sponsored tower?
That's what the tower's named.
And they're going to have like a simulated, like a cave, like a treasure hunt in there and stuff like that. And then some kind of a ride that comes down a steel. It's I don't know. It's kind of like
a zip line, but a little different.
Yeah.
The cave part I'm not sure about, but that sounds really cool. Maybe that is going to happen. But the zip line like thing, the observation tower, it's really cool. It should take, I think, about a year and a half to build it. But that's going to be a real nice attraction.
It's a great compliment to what everything that Noddle's doing over there.
And that is your Noddle Company's Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week. All right, Donna has been waiting for a very long time. Good morning, Donna, and welcome to Grow Omaha.
Good morning. I have a question about, or wondering if you guys know anything about B&G down in the outlet mall. It just opened down there, and we went down there, and it's been closed. Do you fellows know anything about that?
Yeah,
if they're going to reopen?
To the best of our knowledge, that's done there at Nebraska Crossing. We don't know a lot of the particulars about it, but it just didn't work out. So they're done. And we are not aware of whether they're going to open another location. At one point, they were thinking about doing one along 90th Street around Blondo. But again, we just don't know what's going to happen there. But that one in Gretna is done. And we appreciate you calling, Donna. And now we're going to go to Ryan. Good morning, Ryan. You're next on Grow Omaha.
Yeah, thanks for taking the call. I've got a question about the 205th and Cumberland area. This would be there's a large lot just north of the Menards on 204th and Dodge there. Two questions. They've been rescaping and redeveloping that large lot that sits just north of Menards. It almost looks like they're putting a street grid in. So I'd like to hear if you guys know anything about that. And then it's been a little while back, but there was a proposal to kind of rechange that intersection, which has exploded with all the growth in that little corridor over the last few years. But there was a proposal or a couple different proposals for roundabouts at that spot. And I was just hoping maybe you guys could talk about what's going in that large lot and then the timing of maybe any improvements on that intersection.
Well stated, Ryan. Thanks for the questions. I will take the land to the north question, and then Brad Williams will talk about the street improvements. That land was Menards has owned that for a long time, and you'll see around the country that they're big into owning their buildings and the land, and they've got a development side, and they also are big on the storage units. And so my understanding is that they took that land. They've always had a high price on it if someone wanted to buy it, but they're going to do the infrastructure, put in their own self-storage facility, and then probably sell off some of those pad sites. And that's very likely what you're seeing there.
And the roundabout, I believe, is this year. It is coming. I don't remember the exact time frame on it, but
so it'll be a Cumberland Drive to the west.
Yeah, just one block west of 204th.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for the call. Now, Bob, you get to be our last call. We've got about 2 minutes, Bob. So go ahead and let's hear your question.
Okay, thank you. On the West Maple corridor around the 190th, 180th, there's a large structure going up, looks like a church. Any idea what that is?
You would be correct. It's a church. It's St. Patrick's Church, Catholic parish in Elkhorn. That's going to be their new building. They're going to keep their complex further west for other programming, but it's my understanding that masses on Sunday and weddings and things like that will be at that new one. It's West Maple Road and Big Elk Parkway, which is right about 183rd.
And then to the east of that, there's a lot of rumors about Sam's Club might go out there to compete against the new Costco that's coming out, but it's still in the negotiation stage, I believe.
When's that supposed to open?
The Costco or the church?
Yeah.
The Costco, I would think, late summer, early fall, perhaps?
They've done a ton of work to that site, and it looks like it. I don't know.
The building's up, and they were already putting in the lines for the coolers a few weeks ago. So.
Yeah. So maybe, my guess is once the shell is in place, then merchandising and training the staff is the big thing. So who knows? Maybe it'll even be open earlier than late summer. We'll see. But it's coming along definitely this year.
Is there any word on? Sorry.
Okay. Squeeze it in, Bob.
Fleet and Farm, we're supposed to go in that area too. Any word on that?
They have one plan for there. They've owned the land for a long time, and there's an Omaha-based developer that's working on that, and another one northwest of 192nd and Highway 370, but they don't have any start dates.
Okay, Bob, thank you for calling, and thank you for waiting so patiently. Going to take our final break of the hour, and when we come back, it'll be the Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Cheer Athletics and Dingman's Collision Center on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
When you're in the mood for some of country.
Good callers.
Yeah, those were good callers.
I missed the 90s and center questions.
And we didn't have we didn't have the anti-smoking guy from
Crossroads question.
Hello, Grow Omaha fans.
This was back when Omaha and the state still allowed you to smoke in restaurants and public spaces and all that. This guy,
he didn't want
he was
apartment
a
complexes.
crusader. Like, this guy was so annoying. He was like again. I hate cigarette smoke, but this guy, I wanted to pick up smoking just to spite this annoying guy for
smoke on the Uncut.
Yeah, irritating me every time I listen to KFAB.
When did they outlaw smoking in your buildings?
Oh, like 07, 06, 05, somewhere in that range. It's been a long time.
I was thinking closer to 7.
I remember people smoking at Indian Hills Theater, which is a Cinerama Dome, Cinerama Scope, whatever. And that's where like Starbucks is now on Dodge Street, in front of MP next to MP Dodge. I remember smoking on airplanes. Like my mom would sit in the back to be with the smokers.
Beck, it's my understanding that in as recent as around 1980, you could smoke in class at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
Well, how?
1980?
I'm actually surprised there's no cigarette burns at this desk.
Yeah. Yeah, how's that even possible? Because you know the amount of smoke that has been smoked in this room is just overwhelming.
Yeah, they probably had to take down the studs or something like that.
This has never been taken.
Like, remember, you could tell. Do you remember in elementary school? You could tell like whose parents smoked by their laundry, like the kids' clothes and stuff.
Yeah, if you came from a smoking household, yeah, you stunk.
I remember in high school that you knew the teachers that smoked because they were always in the greenhouse.
Side. That's pretty funny.
They could still smoke in the lounge.
How much time are we going to have, Ben, when we come back?
4.5 minutes.
Total. Okay. We'll have to go through a lot of stuff fast.
Those are good.
Our high school.
Has anybody been to Memoir yet?
No, I've been wanting to try it. I've been to Tupelo Honey.
All right, here we go.
I was there once. What's the
Okay.
These plants.
Yeah, it's kind of okay.
Sports talk and podcasts free without sounding so good. News Radio 1110 KFAB.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals, Trenton Maggot, and Brad Williams with you today. And it is time for our Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round. Thank you to PC Construction for making this possible. They are a Class A general contractor based right here in Omaha, but they do work all over western Iowa and eastern Nebraska. It's a newer company, but it's run by Dave Kreitzer, a guy who has been leading projects and construction firms in this area for a long time. Many of the project managers, administrators, the supers, the carpenters, laborers, many of these folks have over 30 years experience individually. So when you put it all together, deep experience in the construction business. And in the true spirit of the lightning round, Perkins Kreitzer has given us some content to share with you today. They are building a new drive-through coffee concept. It's called Ziggy's Coffee Drive-Through. It's a big chain, started in northern Colorado. They have locations nationwide, including one that's already open in Lincoln and one coming soon in Fairbury, Nebraska. But the first Ziggy's Coffee Drive-Through that Perkins Kreitzer is going to build here in Omaha is going to be at 201st and Q Street. Groundbreaking is scheduled to take place next week, and it'll be open in late summer. These drive-through coffees, those buildings can go up pretty fast.
There's already a strip center over there, that white building over there. Have you seen that with the dark windows?
A lot of things happening.
Not sure what's going in there. Next to the daycare that's already open.
Yeah, so keep an eye on Ziggy's there. And if you want to learn more about Perkins Kreitzer Construction, just Google them and you can find some information there. And we thank them for bringing us the lightning round. A couple other little things. The Old Culprit Cafe at 16th and Farnham downtown is going to be a wine and tapas bar. Tapas, not topless. Oh,
Darn.
How about if I said a tapas and wine bar called Cattle Call? It looks like it's going to be really nice. I don't know why it's going to be called Cattle Call, but it looks like it'll be a nice tapas and cocktail bar.
Sounds delicious.
It's delicious. Charred Burger and Bar, which is at 132nd and Pacific, getting very close to opening their next location in the Southport area of La Vista near Cabela's in late April. The owner of Javi's Tacos, which is Javi Trujillo, is opening an upscale sit-down Mexican place called El Milagro Mexican Bar and Grill. It's going to open up in April. It's going to be very close to Baker's in Pepperwood near 156th and Dodge. So that's coming along nicely. We have a yet-to-be-named Asian restaurant that plans to open in mid-May in a former Frank's Pizzeria space at 72nd and Main Street. It's actually 5413 South 72nd Street in the Ralston area.
East side.
And this restaurant will likely feature ramen and dumplings. And I know a lot of people in Omaha have been clamoring for a dumplings restaurant. Hopefully this will fill the bill.
Ralston is well known for their ramen and dumpling eaters.
I did not know that, but now I do. Nerdy Nails, a locally owned nail salon, plans to open in late April at 16th and Farnham Street, really close to Cattle Call, just around the corner from Cattle Call that we mentioned earlier. The Nerdy Nails will be right next door to Block 16. And we've got a sign of progress. Exterior signage has been installed on the future Smash Park building, a 30,000 square foot entertainment center in La Vista's Southport area. Also going to have a big outdoor place, but this is pickleball and all sorts of fun things. It'd be the type of place that, you know, if you have a sports team and you get done with a hockey or a baseball game, all the players and the parents go there, and it'll be a lot of fun. It's out of Des Moines, Iowa. I went to the one they have there. It's a pretty cool place. Brad, we've got Mahogany Steakhouse is about ready to open in their new location.
Yeah, they're opening Monday evening at 4 p.m.
And that is a move just like Charleston's, owned by the same company out of Oklahoma City. But the old Mahoganies will be replaced by the new one in Heartwood Preserve, Southwest 144th and Dodge. Music's playing, which means we're done. Brad, thanks for joining us, as you often do.
Oh, thanks for having me. I always have a lot of fun.
Brad Williams, BradWilliamsPhotography.com, also E&A Consulting Civil Engineering Firm. That's it for this week. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Maggot.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, Cheer Athletics, and Perkins Kreitzer Construction on News Radio 1110 KFAB. If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.